Ahoy and hello YouTube. Welcome back to Following Seas and welcome to a look at the current fleet of ships which we'll go over today within the upcoming Following Seas sailing ship. We'll say simulator light because it's not, full on 100%, but it's pretty darn close. This is footage from a beta which receives patches almost daily. Here recently from the developer Brendan Parley, the dev of Following Seas, and this is an apparent passion project and shaping up to be quite nice. Now, I've done a previous video on the demo that released last year around October. I'll try and pop that in the top right hand corner if you want to go back and take a look. But big shout out and thank you to Brandon for allowing me to have a look at the beta with a beta key, so thank you very much. Now, the game can be found on Steam, which I'll link below. There's still current access to a recently updated demo as well. I think it's 2.0 or 2 point something by now. But please note, as usual with betas, things happen. It's a beta. There may be bugs. Performance tweaks are still needed. He's diligently working on this game. So expect bugs. It's a beta or demo. And report them. He's got a Discord as well linked on the Steam page. Now, the demo released initially in October of 24, so it's almost a full year, and I think he might be planning to try and release it in an early access state a year on, so possibly at the end of this fall or autumn. This is a sailing game first and foremost, and all the games similar. This one does it the best in recent years, in my humble opinion. It's not a full-on simulation, obviously. We'll say sim light again, but it gets the job done. It's highly cathartic and delivers such a cozy and chill vibe and experience. It's just a fun game, a fun, relaxing, and chill game to get into. There's a bit of lore and backstory within the world. 2 crumbling empires dot the map's islands, which you'll explore and take jobs for cargo, which you'll pay in supplies or money. There's a light survival aspect to it, which has a daily reset in which your player essentially consumes water and food, which you have on board as your stores or your cargo, your personal cargo on the ship. You'll also have supplies to repair your ship in real time. With your canvas or sails or the hull and things like that. The seas can be calm or feisty, a calm sunrise to a roaring swell enveloped in sea fog. You can see it all. The weather in this is pretty cool and it is dynamic. You'll have to navigate using charts. You'll have a compass at hand and other gear at your disposal to make your way across the seas of Following Seas. All right, we are within the game. We're going to take a look at the ships that you are going to have access to in the early access, or if you are in beta, if you gain access to beta. I'm not certain what all ships are operable within the demo, but I'll show you at least how to get to where you need to go to find them and use them. But early access is planned, like I said, for late fall. Subject to change, obviously, and he mentions that the price will likely be an early access price of about $12 to $15. Now, he's also got a YouTube channel of his own, which I will certainly link down below, which I implore you to follow just to see the kind of amazing updates over the years. And this is a multi-year project of how much has gone into this game and how much it's been polished. It's pretty interesting, but you're going to have more cargoes and varying cargoes. Size varieties are coming. Currently, you've got 2 shipyards on the map, which we'll go over in just a minute. One for each culture of the Kalian and then the Imperial are your kind of 2 cultures within the map, and we'll go over those in just a second, where you either build, so you can build your ships, or you can purchase them depending on, how many supplies you have or how much money you've made. There's going to be 6 playable ships at launch. Again, all of this could change, but I'm guessing this is how early access is going to ship out here. 6 playable ships at launch, more than 6 islands likely featuring fishing, trading, ship management, A couple of special locations, Easter eggs. I haven't really found any, maybe one, I think. I have to keep searching myself, but work steadily continues on. Performance is one of the big things, because one of the cool things about this game is the cloth simulation, or the canvas, your sails. It's friggin' amazing, and the way it reacts with the wind and the water. This is some of the best water that I've seen in any game similar. It's kind of mesmerizing. I don't really know how else to put it, but it's again very comfy. There was also a degree, since initial demo of last year, a degree of world curvature that was added. So, sorry, flat earthers, this world is indeed curved. Now, later on, he notes that we will possibly have fast travel to a degree, which would cost the player time, obviously, provisions, things like that. You can also have random encounters, possibly, sort of like an RPG when you fast travel. Think of like Kingdom Come Deliverance. A knight blocks your path, dressed in all black. That kind of thing could happen, which would be cool as well. These are all possibilities, by the way. So post early access. So interruptions to the fast travel, other ships, weather events, things like that. Also, possibly combat could come along to the game, and ship modification, which I'm very much looking forward to anyway. Is being able to change your sails, your name of the ship, the paint of the ship. Things like that. And you're going to get a kind of a bot crew. So this very chungus, absolutely thick boy ship that we have here in front of us, this is the largest Imperial ship that you'll get your hands on in the game. And it's big. And you might need an extra pair of hands. So bots, these kind of bots that are, they almost look like people just kind of dressed in, we'll say a strange garb. Could do things for you, such as catching your anchor, maybe hoisting the sails, things like that. Just a couple of things. But anywho, we're here about the ships. Let's show you how to get them. All right, we are in the cabin of my great ship, and this thing is this is just so cool seeing something like this. We have sorely needed naval-based games or sims. Just for gaming or simulation in general, and this hits a sweet spot. It surely does. Here's your chart or your map. We'll go ahead and click on that. This is going to be in your cabin of any ship that you are in, and how you'll access the map or view the world. We're going to take a look at it, so I'm going to hit plot course, and it currently shows us where we're at, which is Waypoint Island. So we're obviously right up here. You can see the city here, the town. There's a lot of land to explore here as well. I wouldn't doubt for a second if there was some kind of special thing. I haven't explored this whole map because this is a lot of land. I mean, this is a pretty massive sea within the game, but that's a lot of land to look at. So that's currently where we're at. So as it denotes here, it says home to a shipyard in the Imperial tradition. So at the bottom of this, it tells you that there's a shipyard here. You can also pick up jobs here, or cargo, naturally. But this is where you're going to want to buy or build, whichever you choose, other ships aside your starting ship that you can start with. So that's the southeastern isle. And then the northwestern isle is kind of the other culture. These are the Kalian, and this has got a super sketchy kind of canal or inlet here that you have to traverse, which I've had a very difficult time getting in and out of there, if I'm honest. But it says here as well, home to a shipyard in the Kalian tradition. So this is where you'll find the ships of that culture. So they're more like Asian, kind of Asian fusion inspired, whereas the island we were just looking at is more like Iberian, Mediterranean fusion inspired. None of this is supposed to be 100% prototypical of anything. It's kind of like fiction light to a degree as far as the ships go, but they're very, very cool. So these are the places you're going to want to go to get your ships. So whether you're in the demo, see if you can find some ships and see if you can grab them. There are ships dotted around the map on some of the islands as well that are static, that are, just think of them like ships, like other, crews doing whatever, which is pretty neat to see. So northwest Big Island and southeast Big Island are where your shipyards are and how you get your ships Now, once you get to one of these islands, let's go over how you would get said ship. All right, we are on shore. There is the ship over yonder. That's the big Empire ship there. And this is the city or the isle or the kind of, we'll say, capital of what's left of this culture. And this is the shipyard. It's obviously denoted by the frame or framing of a ship being knocked up here, which is pretty cool. And you'll have your models of the ships that you can purchase or have built. Now, this here is the Caravel. I'm not going to go over this today, so we're essentially going to be looking at 5 ships because the demo that released last year, which I'll link down below again if you didn't catch it in the intro, that goes over more of this ship here, the Caravel, and just more of the base gameplay, whereas, like I mentioned, we're here solely for the ships and a lot of work that's been done to the game over the past year and the stuff that you'll have access to and be able to sell. So the Caravel is well known, probably the most well-known ship, alongside the junk within the game, the ships within the game anyway. This is obviously one of the same types of ship as in the Nina or the Pinta of Christopher Columbus's expedition to the New World, as it were called. But the Caravel was of Portuguese origins and Spanish, or that general region, often rigged with lateen or square sails. Lateen only currently in game, but I think possibly we may see, as the developer noted, some customization in the sail department. That'd be neat. But known to be quite nimble and fairly speedy. Of all the ships of Christopher Columbus's expedition, these were the favorite of his. I think his most favorite was... It was either the Pinta or the Nina. I know it's 50-50, but it was one of those two. It wasn't the Carrack, which I think they ran aground at some point and sunk. But anyway, so it's pretty neat about these ships. You get to sail it. It's a beautiful ship. It's got a rounded hull. It rides high in the water, holds a fair bit of cargo, and very easy to maneuver. We're not going to go over this one again today. Like I said, this is in primarily the first video that I made, you know, as far as the game when the demo released. It's a beautiful day to go sailing. Let's get those sheets wide open. We are going to start on the Setia. We'll try and get underway here and then go over some of the things about the ship and take a look at it. And just cover the ships to a small degree. Like I said, they are fictional for the most part, but they're largely based on realistic counterparts, which is pretty neat. We'll get the bow ready and willing here. We'll go ahead and unfurl that. See what kind of wind action we got today. And this big boy, when you first take control, your lines will be quite loose. This one here will generally hang right there, and it's pretty much maxed out. So I'm going to tighten it up. You can do that with the mouse wheel, of course. Alright, yeah, it looks like the wind is coming out of the west. Take a look at our flag there, obviously. It's your best indication. There are smaller flags or ribbons hanging throughout the ship. And of course, you can look at the water itself, but the water can actually be a bit different than what the wind is doing. Obviously, there's sea currents and then winds, and they can go two opposite directions, or maybe the same way. It can happen. Did we get this around? We did. Let's go ahead and run it all the way back. Try and stretch it out here. Please. Please work with me here. Come on now. Tie it there. Might be kind of weird. Yeah, I think it's still kind of wound up there. But we do need to steer a bit to the east, because there are some shallow rocks right here. Super shallow. This is a fairly tricky inlet. Both of these isles are fairly tricky. If you're in anything other than the starter ships, it can be tricky getting in and out of these areas. We'll see how we're doing. So we want to go between what looks like the remnants of a dock over there on the right, and of course the rocks jutting out of the water. It it can get pretty shallow in here. So, and the waves can hide things, which is kind of neat. We're gonna go a bit more starboard. There we go, and that might hold us. What are we looking at there? Almost completely due north. Get our rudder angle, and something that was added to the wheels or the rudder is the red tape around the middle, which is pretty cool. So you know which is kind of like dead center on your wheel there. There we go. We might get out of here looking at some of the foam going on in the sea down below. That's so cool. I love the way the water looks in this game. It is fantastic. We'll go ahead and get this one down as well. Hopefully it doesn't go bananas on me. Looks like we have got a pretty decent wind out of the southwest. Go ahead and release that. That one's wrapped around as well. Not optimal, but we will try and fix it. That one is going to be hanging here. Go ahead and tighten that up as well. And we're going to run around the front. And then the back. Come on, please. Please don't get crazy on me now. The front one's already getting crazy. We don't need two crazies, just one crazy. You got a crazy captain, crazy sails. Come on now. Come on, all the way out. Let's see if we can tie it here. Okay, yeah. They're being... Oh, are you kidding me, bro? The wind direction literally just changed. That is unfortunate, but fortunate at the same time because they are billowed. We do have to avoid this massive rock right here. Thing that's neat about this ship as well is it's so large. This would have had, in real life, would have had a crew easily of hundreds of people. So it's got a full-on working kitchen or stove denoted by the smoke coming off the back of this thing, which is pretty badass. It's not a working kitchen within the game, but you catch my drift. Let's get that back. True north there. Do a little pump just in case. We'll grab this sucker right here. We'll bring it over here. You generally want lateen sails at about 45 degrees, if memory serves. Where's the tie? Where is the tie? We'll put it right here. We can actually tighten it up a bit as well. There we go. So we got some decent wind. This one we shall bring back to the other side. Is your main sail, of course. We'll open that up a bit. We'll do about 6 meters. Son of a biscuit. Sometimes it does that. If you don't have the UI telling you tie here and you hit E, like I just did, it won't tie it. And it'll go back to its last tied position. Let's see. Tie here. There we go. Kablammers. So main and bow, and we are chooching. I mean, there's just something so soothing and, again, cathartic about this game. It's just highly enjoyable. If you like anything to do with ships or the sea or whatever, it's just super cool. I mean, God, look at this. Friggin' essential great ship. Could be a pirate ship, but mainly a large merchant ship. Although, to be fair, most pirate ships were merchant ships at one point or another. But we are going, man. We are going. It's pretty cool. Go down below and take a look as well. So this is where your wheel is, or your rudder controllers. Make sure we're going due north. This is the mid deck. You've got 2 quarters here on both sides. It's pretty neat, and your lantern as well. You can extinguish if you would like. And then here's the stores or the kitchen. Pretty good size. Imagine walking around in here while this thing was just tumbling about the waves back in the day. Had to be epic and vomit-inducing. The captain's quarters on the upper deck. Here's your kind of captain's log or the menu. So to save within this game, this is the only place you can do it. I don't know if this is going to change, but you're going to want to go in your captain's quarters. Hit E on that, open it, and then you would click save, and then you save, and you're good to go. So we're going to hit return to game. Here's your bed up in there. I'm assuming maybe that'll come in handy at some point when we, or if we get the fast travel doohickey, which would be pretty cool. But maybe you like go to sleep and it fast forwards a certain amount of time, something like that. You can climb up here to get on the back. Very nice viewpoint back here as well. This thing is absolutely massive. So damn cool. I don't know why I started with the big one. I feel like this is like the entree. I guess next we'll look at the shebek, which is the dessert. We'll think of it like a I don't know, ice cream sundae or something. But this thing's got plenty of flags so you can see the wind direction. And we're just chilling. We're just sailing right along now. Absolutely gorgeous. This thing is massive. So the Imperial Satia, this thing is almost 40 meters in length with almost a 7-meter depth. It's got a tonnage of 537, the largest of the Imperial ships in the game based on merchant ships, featuring lateen sails, which are these kind of triangular shaped sails, which are fairly easy to maneuver and quick. These things, or the ship, what this is based on, sailed primarily east of modern-day Spain or the Iberian Peninsula throughout the Mediterranean. Now, the sails were actually what is called settee sails, which is a type of lateen sail, and why I think these ships were called settees. Basically the same thing. A lateen type shape, more of a trapezoidal shape, using shorter mast and yard. So that's the deal with this. You've also got a pump here, so that's to pump water out if you've got water on board. What's cool about this is you'll see sea spray coming up. If it gets high, it gets a bit choppy, the deck will go between states of wet and dry. At least that, or I'm losing my damn mind. Could be either or, but I swear it's gone between both. We'll go down below and take a look in the cargo hold. I think you have to go down right here. I want to say there's two. Are there two? Yeah, there we go. So this is the bottom. I mean, this thing is legit. This is a big ass ship. So this is the very bottom, which you can go here. Here is your ballast distribution. So depending on how much cargo you've got on your ships, you definitely want to distribute the ballast. I tend to make mine, especially if I'm not carrying anything, a little rear heavy, just to get the nose up out of the water a bit more. So I'm going to do that. We'll set it there for now. But you can change which side, bow, aft, or stern, whatever side, whatever direction. You've got a lot of stuff that you can mess with here, which is pretty damn cool. Where you see these things that look like pallets is where your cargo goes, which you'll accept. And this thing holds an absolute mess of cargo. Back here, you've got a jail sail, which is pretty cool. It's got some nice sound effect as well. The irons wouldn't want to be hanging out back here. Got some extra stuff. I wonder what's in there. Maybe some coffins or something. That's kind of creepy. They're chained up. Looks like a nice little sheet down in there too. We'll go back up to the mid deck. Pretty large as well. Ton of room. This is also spots where you can put your... I'll actually bring the lantern out with the 4 key here. Where you can place all your cargo. This thing holds a friggin' ton of cargo. It's crazy. Here's another pump down here as well. If you start getting water in the hull, pump it out. Here are where your provisions are stored. So if you didn't take the time to watch the initial video, this is where you would check, how much food you have, drink, oakum to repair the hull, timber, repair the hull as well, canvas and oil and things like that, and how much you can hold overall. So this, I think it'll hold 9.5 ton of provisions, which is pretty nice. Got a lot. So this is a big girl. This is the biggest one you can get of the Imperial side of the game, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. This thing is quite nice. It's fairly easy to sail as well. You'll kind of have to come to grips with the game overall, obviously, but it's just absolutely beautiful. This is the Imperial Satia. I would probably recommend not jumping right to this, maybe going, to the we'll say the sports car, the shebek, which we'll take a look at here in just a minute, which is my favorite ship in the game currently, right now anyway. But Imperial Satia, biggin, Three sail, three masted, lateen. Very deep, holds a lot of cargo, but not as quick, and you can get grounded fairly easy. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Chevik. So we started there with the big boy. This is kind of the Corvette, the quickie, the fast one, the missile of the Imperial fleet that you can get. We'll go ahead and hit inspect, and we'll go over the ship in a moment. But how you would get it, currently it says 1 tera. Obviously, it's you know, a beta, so we're testing. So it's not free. You still have to have 1 tera, which is interesting. But I'm sure it'll be a lot more than that. So you can build it or buy it. We'll buy it. We'll go ahead and pay for it. What a friggin' deal, huh? We'll go ahead and launch it. It will load. And there she is, my beauty. This is my favorite ship in the game currently. As far as just the sleek, absolute sleek nature and look of this thing. And she is fairly quick as well. Rides low in the water, but can still handle quite a bit. And can handle these challenging, you know, shoals or depths as well. And just has a beautiful bowsprit. Just very elegant looking ship. The headmast as well down there, or figurehead, sorry, not headmast. We'll get on board and we shall go ahead and get underway, much like the Satya. Here's the bowsprit or sail on the front of the vessel. We'll go ahead and get that wide open, see what the wind's doing here. Alright, looks like we got a wind blowing out of the west. We'll go ahead and grab this. Where's it at? Where's it at? Here it is. This one hangs here as well. Fully loose. And this thing is moving already. It's a bit easier to run around the front of that mast than on the Satya. And so we'll get this thing wide open. We're going to kick it. We're going to grip it and rip it. We'll tie that there for now. Alright, we do want to steer a bit as to not hit the shore. That would be unfortunate. So not only is, you know, this thing quick and nimble, but the view that you are afforded commanding this thing is much better as well. Of course, if we get kind of bots down the road to kind of help with certain things, that would certainly be nice. But you can see really well right from the wheelhouse here, or the wheel anyway. There's no actual house. And we'll try to straighten that out a bit. We'll take a look underneath here. You can see how shallow this thing is, the draft, and how close we're getting there. But this thing is an absolute beauty. I love this thing. Is the wind changing direction on me already? Ooh. No, it is not optimal right now for these types of sails, but we'll try to make the best of it. I'm no sailing expert either. I just make do. We'll go ahead and get this one down as well. Hopefully we can safely get out of here. Kabloom. This one is hanging back yonder. Here, and it is it wrapped? No, it is not, thankfully. We'll go ahead and tie it there for now. We will tighten it up a bit. We'll do about 10 meters. There we go, we're running. We'll stretch that back some. I just want to get past this rock, just like we did in the Satya. Just get out to open sea. And why is the mast moving? Holy hell, that's kind of scary. There we go. That might do us, lads and ladettes. All right, we're gonna bring the front side over some just to catch a bit more wind here. There we are. How's the wind looking? Yeah, dude, it's ripping. Okay, we'll pull this. We'll tighten this up actually, and we'll actually bring it back here some as well. We'll tighten it to about 6. There we go. That'll afford us some rippage. That will afford us some rippage. And this one will loosen up quite a bit as well. We'll put it about 7. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We'll go ahead and open the rear as well. You just find the wind and harness it. It was a bit daunting at first. You know, if you've never played a game of the type or know anything about sails, that's interesting. I don't know why the mast is moving. It's the first time I've seen it do that. I'm not sure why it's happening. Again, it's a beta. Things happen. Things can happen. This is on the wrong side. Try and pull her around here. Wait, was it, or did I just make it the wrong side? Bro. Alright, we'll go way up here. We'll go way up here. Come on now. Don't do this to me. Dude, we are hauling ass. Look how far we are already. Holy hell. I don't know if the mast is tripping out or what. I mean, I guess technically we could harness the wind that's directly behind us from either side. It's kind of weird, but you know, I'm weird, so whatever. Weird's gonna weird. Yeah, so we're catching wind from both sides. I mean, hell, if you can catch wind from one side or the other, go for it. But Imperial Shepik, 33 meters in length, 410 meter, or not 410 meter, but 4 meter depth, 4.10 meter anyway, sorry. 215 is your tonnage, your carry tonnage. And the mid-size Imperial ship, also a Mediterranean-based ship of its non-fictional counterpart, based out of the Barbary Coast, modern-day Algeria, used for trade primarily, and notable for its beautiful bowsprit, sharp, pointy bowsprit, and mizzen, which hangs over quite a bit back here as well. This is just an elegant ship. I love the way this thing looks. It's just gorgeous. And also using the nice, easy to handle Latin triangle typed sails. Something else that was added was the particle recently of the water coming off the bow, which is pretty cool. You can see your figurehead here, which is like a mermaid or something different to the eagle that was on the Satia. See what we got on the back. Nothing of too much. No, got a lantern hanging back yonder. Got a gigantic flag up there as well. Dude, this wind is ripping. This would be mega if I had a friggin', you know, hold full of cargo right now, but alas, I do not. I love how you can see the ocean underneath this thing as well. That's pretty cool. Gorgeous ship, though. It's got gun ports as well. If cannon were fitted on the deck, you've got various pumps as well, just like the other. This is another lovely area. I just like to, I can literally just sit here and friggin' hang out for like an hour, and I honestly do that sometimes. You know, I'll get in here and I won't even take cargo anywhere. I'll just try and grab the wind and, you know, see where it takes me, kind of deal. We do want to steer around the island a bit. Let's see how we're looking here. Yeah, dude, it's like straight behind us. We'll go a bit westerly. The game might trip out. Whoa! Again, it's a beta. Things happen. Holy crap! Getting knocked over by the mast there. That's interesting. I will have to note that. All right, very good. We'll take a look at the quarters inside. Very modest housing, couple of areas to sleep. Here is your bed back here. Again, your chart and where you save. Got a couple of books for when you're sitting on the turlet and quite bored. They didn't have cell phones to look at back then, so you had to read a book or something or so. All right, guys, we're knocking them down. So we're on the other side of the map, the northwesterly side of the game world, or the sea in which the game takes place. The Kalian culture, or the Kalian capitals, the Kalian island. You can see these two massive towers here, which denote that the canal entrance is just there, and it is super tight, because there is a absolutely massive ship that you can pick up here. So this is the small Patawakang, which is the alternate starter ship, I think, to the caravel that you may have the option to choose when early access releases. But this is a really cool ship as well. I think it's the actual smallest ship out of the entire fleet in the game currently. We've got just a static, that's the really big ship there that's kind of run aground. But this area is neat. It's quite different than the other side of the map, obviously. Taking hints and notes from different in real life cultures. Obviously this kind of playing to Thai, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, a kind of fusion of everything, which is pretty neat. It's not supposed to be one particular thing, but the pagoda type structures are pretty neat, which the ships carry as well. So this is where you're going to want to come to get the other types of ships. The other types of ships shipyard is over here. Here's one in dry dock or being repaired. And then here you have your two, which you can choose. You've got the Padawakang here. Close that and back out. And then the junk. So the Padawakang is like the caravel. The junk is like the Shebek. And then the absolute monster. This thing terrifies me, literally. I've not mastered sailing these ships at all. Not gonna lie. Look at this thing. Even the frigging model is huge. Four-masted kind of junk warship or great ship. Kalian great ship. Oh, this thing is huge. It is like the Empire State Building with 4 sails. And we are going to take a look at each one, but this time we're going to start with the smaller of them, the Padawakang. And I'm going to try and get this thing out to sea. We've got the Padawakang out of the narrow channel or canal there. The wind is not currently in our favor, and I'm gonna be blatantly clear and honest here. I suck at operating this thing. This thing is probably one of the toughest ships to master, but once you do catch some wind in it, start getting some momentum, it's pretty fun. It is a very unique ship, so let's get after it. We've almost got the wind head on. Let's go ahead and retract the sails, or unfurl them anyway. I said that backwards. So you grab the sails by these things here that kind of spin around. Look like the old, like you're tightening up a trebuchet that's about to fire at a castle wall. You bring your sails down, and there you have your sails yonder. One of the lines will be tied down here, possibly both of them. Let's take a look at our wind one more time. Yeah, so we kind of probably want to keep this thing just about where it's currently at. I'm going to loosen it up and try and tie it here. And so there's 2 lines. Actually, I did that backwards. I am an idiot. We're going to put this one here for now. So that's what's interesting about this, is it's not a fastened kind of yard line. I've got the terminology correct, like the Latin sails we've been on. So let's go ahead and tighten this up some. We're going to bring it right here and try and catch some of that wind. Okay, so we've got that there. I probably did this backwards as well. Okay, let's go ahead and grab this one. Can possibly tie it over here also. Take a look. Yeah, wind is head on. This is not ideal, guys. If we can kind of turn a bit to the right, we may be able to get some. So let's go ahead and try that again. We'll put this here for now. We'll actually bring it completely around. We'll tie this one here. See how that does. There we go. We might be onto something here. Might. Very might. Put that lightly. I think this is the other line here. Yes, it is. So we kind of want to keep them in the same spot. I've got one tied there already, so let's actually... We can tie that there. So let's... Oh, where'd you go? Where did you go? Where'd it go? It's... Man, look at all the lines. Like, they get all mixed up, and it's my brain my feeble mind starts hurting. I don't know where the hell that line went, if I'm honest. Where the hell did it go? Oh, we got one right here. Was that it? Don't think so. Let's tie it back to here. Okay, so we kind of got a little bit, but we don't have any forward momentum, and we probably won't get any. I am absolute dog at this thing. We got a line flapping around in there. Where's that thing hung up at? Let me up here. There we go. On the quarter deck. I think this is it. Is this might be the rear. Yeah, that's not the one we want. That ain't the one we want. Let's put that back there. There's a fourth, so there's two each side. Jesus, where is it? Okay, that one's there. That one's there. Let's straight down it. Yes, it could possibly be this one. Aha. Yes, it is. It is. Okay, so we'll loosen that. We'll put it there. And, yeah, it's not going swimmingly. So this thing has got this unique kind of double rudder instead of or double oar instead of your rudder style. So it kind of works the same way with the WASD keys and your, you know, your directional changes. So I'm kind of just angling us against the wind here a little better. We're gonna go ahead and release that. We might, yeah, we're just kind of screwed right now. I do have us anchored down though, just to be safe. We'll go ahead and release that. The kedge anchor, this thing's got a unique animation to it as well, so it works the same as the other ships. We'll go ahead and throw it out there. This is the kedge anchor right here, and I love the animation on this thing that puts the pegs. It puts the square pegs in a square hole. And then it just kind of rotates, and you can see the rope being twisted around. It's pretty unique animation. It's pretty cool. The wind is hella gnarly right now. Oh my god. Yeah, it's getting crazy. Sometimes you can get some pretty crazy weather, and it can be exciting and sketchy at the same time. You'll just be blown all the way over. You'll have water just straight lapping over the deck. Alright, I'll go ahead and release that. We'll bring that in. Let's see if I can turn into the wind here at all. So yeah, if we bust to right a little bit, our starboard right, port left, looking down the bow, we might be able to catch a little bit. I ain't even gonna worry about the rear sail. All right, good deal, guys. We are getting it. This thing looks phenomenal, though. I love the coloring on it. It's quite bright. It's got some pop. It's got a bit of color to it, and I swear we just lost the wind already. But the Padawakang, this thing's about 20 meters in length. It's got a very shallow depth as well, so you can get into very, very shallow areas just fine, depending on how much tonnage you're holding. And speaking of tonnage, holds 68 tonnage-wise, and the smallest ship at launch, the alternate starting ship to the Caravel, I guess, which is what possibly may happen when early access comes on. But these feature a very unique and specific Tanja rig, T-A-N-J-A, Tanja. It could be a bit more complex, again, like I mentioned, due to the anchored yard or suspended boom and just the way that it steers. But other than that, it's very cool looking. It's got a nice shallow draft. It's got plenty of wind indication all over this thing. But it can be, it can be a bit cramped trying to get around on deck here to kind of move around and swing around and do what you need to do. We'll go down and take a look at the hold. Pop our lantern out. Not very large. You can actually see the ballast down there as well. Here's where your stores or provisions are. Holds 4.5 tons of provisions, so just enough. You can go back here as well. It's about the same. I'd say it's a little bit more narrow than the Caravel, but it's about the same. And then this right here, the shovel with the red tape, that distributes your ballast, of course. So we'll just kind of mess with it there. There we go. We're done. And you can do that on the fly, which I like. Your cargo manifest is there. That's how you move around your cargo bits and all that good stuff. And it's got some more neat animation here as well, where you can actually open these little compartments here. If I can get up under there, let me hit the crouch key. Open. I can't quite get up under there. Maybe I got to go to the inside. Anyway, you can open these to get from your kind of cabin or your quarters down into the hull. It's not letting me open it right now. I'm not quite hitting that that click point quite well. There we go. Let's get back up top here. Get rid of that. Down in here. Let's see. Maybe it's just one. I think the one, just one of them possibly opens. They do open. I'm not catching the hit point. Open, damn it. Yeah, it's not doing it for some reason. There we go. Sweet. So you can get in and out, which is pretty neat down here. Got a nice view. Oh my god. We're about to be ran aground. This is not ideal. It's your bed back here, your chart over here, your map, and then where you save, of course, right here. And then you got the oars sticking out the side. But I need a lot more time with this thing. You can hear the hull just scraping the barnacles off the bottom on the damn rocks here, which we're pretty much stuck. But it's a very cool, unique ship. I love the way it looks. I love the colors on it. It's very unique. I'd say it's probably the most unique ship in the game right now. But it is tough. It's kind of like starting ship hard mode. It's like the Dark Souls of your starter ship. And with that said, that's about as far as I'm going to get with this thing. So let's get on over to the junk, the mid-size ship. We have made it aboard the junk, and again, it has taken all I have got to get out of the canal from the island from which this ship hails, the Kalian junk. Let's go ahead and take a look around on board. It's got an offset or off-center wheel back here that's also got the red tape or red ring that denotes which way is the kind of true north on the wheel, if you will, up and down. And it's got a neat pulley system over there as well. I'd say this ship is probably, I don't know, one of the more unique, like better model, just overall kind of looking ships. Although I have not spent a whole lot of time with this thing, to be completely fair. But it's neat that it's got this pulley rig system that actually touches this part of the rudder. So the rudder can be done manually if needed. That comes all the way out the back of the ship here, and is kind of flat, like a big fat paddle, which is pretty interesting to say the least. But let's try and catch a little wind in this thing. We'll get another sail down. We've got the front one down. We'll bring this one down as well. Where's the thingamabob over here? There we go. Let's haul her down. The wind is ripping. Let's try and take advantage of that and get some speed out of this thing. Unlike the Patawakang, which is that's like hard mode. But these are neat because they've got the neat junk sails, a unique type sail. We just got to go up here and grab that. That son of a gun is massive too, guys. Holy crap. Let's climb back up here, get on the quarter deck or whatever they may have called it. And we are tied right here. Go ahead and tighten that up a skosh. There we go. It's the ever-imposing watcher, the sentinel in the distance there. We're catching a little wind. We'll bust a left some more here. It's cool watching that thing move. This is one of the, just one of the neat things about the ship is little extra bits of animation and uniquities. I don't even know if that's a word, to be honest. There we go. We got some wind in our sails. The one up front, we can open that one up a little bit. Where did I put it? Over yonder. Yes, that's not in a great spot. We'll put her over here. We'll definitely open that up. We'll do like 3 meters there. There we go. Almost straight on. These things are so friggin' cool looking. But you can, kind of put these almost any direction, unlike the Latines. They have their own kind of discipline, sailing-wise, obviously, that you got to get used to. But let's try and get that rear going back here, and then we'll take a peek around the ship herself. Go ahead and pop this bad girl open. Please don't freak out on me. Canvas simulation. It's cool seeing all the rigging up the side of the mast as well. Unfurl. I think we're gravy. The Back of this thing is nice as well. This is a big ship. This thing is basically the size of the Satia, the big ass Empire ship. Anyway, you can see the rowboat hanging off the back there, which is pretty cool as well on its pulley system. This is just a really unique and cool ship. Love the way this thing looks. I need to play it a bit more just to come to grips with it a bit more, because I very much suck with it right now. Got this. Where does this one go? Oh, that's okay. That's part of this. I got it. I got you. So that's the bottom. Oh, dear Lord. The wind is changing. Oh, dear Lord. And as you can see, the sails are at the mercy because the type of sail that they are. But the junk, this thing is 35 meters long. It's got a 4.5 meter depth, 230 on the tonnage scale. Excuse me, for cargo, and the mid-size Kalian ship featuring battened rectangular sails, which is what the junks were famous for. And this look similar to like you know, the way a Venetian blind looks, the modern blind in you know, household situations. It's kind of the same deal. You just pull the cord and they you know, accordion together or loosen it and they come down. It's pretty damn neat, but relatively shallow draft for its size, which is nice. And it's got a wheel and rudder, so thing wouldn't be horrible to use, honestly. God, that's gonna be interesting getting that son of a bee. How are we gonna get that? Yikes. Big yikes. Okay, where's the wind? So the wind is like, we're like head on right now. Okay, so let's try and let's turn a bit. Come a bit port. Come a bit port. There we go. A couple of degrees. We'll try and get the wind at our side here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Take a little look around here. Go down into the quarters, which is fairly large as well. Bust out our lantern. I love the ornate windows cut into this thing as well. Here's some kind of supply placeholders. You got your chart there. This one's busted up a bit different than some of the other quarters. Got a nice little model of the ship there, which is pretty cool. I remember seeing this thing in the demo when you get to your first aisle after escaping the shipwreck. And this thing is sitting there waiting for you, and you're like, oh my god, I can get on, but you can't. It's just a static thing. But it was cool nonetheless because you knew it was coming. So I'd say the junk is one of those special ships to me, like right behind the shipwreck maybe. Here's your captain's log or your menu where you save. And then here's the door out the back. You can deploy your rowboat down there like so. And then just hit that to bring it back up. Go fishing over here just like you can in all the other ships. What's neat about fishing is it's not just a little fun deal or a time waster. If you're low on provisions or food, fishing will resupply that, which is pretty damn cool. But the junk, it's a very neat ship, very ornate and unique. Open all these hatches here, which again are all unique as well. Instead of just opening to one side, I guess it made sense because it didn't, you know, block up half of the deck or something like that. This is your pump, your bilge of sorts to get the water out of the hole down there. Go down and have a little look-see. Here's your cargo manifest on that. Here's your ballast down yonder. We'll put it on the very back, just see what happens. We got weight all the way on the back. What's the worst that could happen? I don't think you can get through right here, so they're like, it's almost like bulkheaded to a degree to help with like anti-flooding of the ship, you know, which is actually kind of neat. Let's go back here and look at the middle. I think they're all kind of bulkheaded to a degree. Yeah, so you've got one here as well, your manifest. So this is a dead end as well. We'll get up here and then we'll go in the rear. You've got these, which you can check your provisions. This holds 6.5 tons, so a pretty good amount. Check it over there as well, but pretty good sized ship. The limited amount of time I've spent with this thing, you know, it's not too tough to sail. It is large and a bit cumbersome, but it's very unique. It looks very cool. I like the colors on it as well. It's got a pretty shallow draft. I mean, for the size of ship this thing is, look how shallow that is. I mean, sure, she's unloaded, but just a pretty cool ship. The Kalian Junk, the mid-size ship. And with that being said, let's get right along to our last showgirl, the Kalian Great Ship. And this will probably be a nightmare, because I don't know if I'll be able to get it out of that canal back there. All right, folks, we've got the absolute unit of the Kalian Great Ship. This thing is absolutely friggin' huge. This is the stern out of your quarters. And sadly, we will not be sailing this thing because it's literally taken me all day to film this video, get all these ships lined up. And I got to this one, tried to save the largest and the craziest for last. And it's quite a kick in the nuts trying to get it out of this narrow channel there directly ahead of us. I ended up letting all of the ballast out of this thing, right, to just make it a bit more buoyant, a bit higher in the water, sitting, and less susceptible to just, you know, drag and things like that. And I got out of the channel there in front of us. It took me a solid 40 minutes just kedge anchoring nonstop. It was not epic, but so I've got to get this thing out there and then get a save once I've already got it out at sea. But it's almost impossible to get this thing out of the channel directly ahead of us. But it is a flippin' badass ship, guys. This thing is huge, absolutely huge. Like, this thing has no business being back here. It is so damn huge. It's only probably about the third attempt I've made since I've been playing the beta and had access to this thing to try and get it out of there. You can see the cultural peoples of Kalian beached one of their ships up in there. I don't know how the hell they did that. It is quite narrow, but it's a junk style ship, of course, with the batten rectangular sails. And once you do get it out at sea, it starts going quite nicely. But since I didn't replace my ballast and I had all my sails up, I sunk immediately. I was recording. I was like, yeah, this is going well. And then just sheer extreme sadness overcame me. The screen went black as I drowned in my ship. It was terrible. But this thing is cool as hell. It's massive. It is ornate as hell. Very detailed. These are the same deals like on the junk and the Padawakang that you raise and lower your sails. The animations of these is very cool too, and they're actually pretty easy to align compared to like the lateen sails on the Iberian Mediterranean styled ships of the Empire. You've got this absolute chonker back here as well. We'll go ahead and just try and raise all of them. This one's kind of offset a bit here. Raise this one as well, because the way these sails work is they kind of just float around the mast itself, so there's not a whole hell of a lot you got to do to get these things to work. But boy, they're massive. They're like 6-story buildings, right? And they just catch so much wind that your ass better be prepared, because I was not, and I sunk earlier. But once you do get going with these junk style ships, they're quite easy to control. So we took a look at the bow. Oh, better yet, we did not. Let's get up under there. Matter of fact, look at this big scary demon on the front of this thing. That's cool as hell. I love that. It'd be neat if there were like 2 cannons like sticking out of there. I don't know what this ship is supposed to represent or what time period. They kind of remind me of like the Shogun era Japanese like warships that they had, to a degree, minus the sails. Just the way the ship itself looks, but very, very cool ship. The thing is absolutely massive. You got your big-ass pump wheel back here. I mean, just the inside of this thing is literally like an office building. There's just so much room and interior. This is the covered quarterdeck back here in the wheelhouse. You can go all the way to the back. I mean, this thing is just absolutely massive. It's as high as some of these damn buildings in here. It is a building itself. It is absolutely flipping massive. I think a bit more work might need to be done on this thing, because it's probably still early. It might be one of the last ones to be built or knocked up anyway. But it is serviceable currently, but it can be tough if you don't know what you're doing. And I can speak to experience because I do not know what I'm doing. But you can see all the crew quarters back here in bunks. That's cool as hell. Looks very refreshing and comfortable. Except for up top. Jesus, that's narrow. Go back here. Got a storeroom, probably kitchen. Play some cards. There's your stove back here as well. This one emits smoke particles like the Satia. Got you a couple of windows up there. But it's kind of a maze too, like all the stuff that that is within the quarters of the ship. We'll go back to this side. We'll go back to the back. Got you a nice little desk there. Here is your captain's log, your menu. Here is your chart over here. Here's the captain's bed up there with some nice views. You got this over here overlooking the rudder, which is pretty damn sweet. Let's go back in here. Let's go up back here. I don't know if we already went back here. We'll open these doors up. I mean, this is just massive. It's like a royal dynastic building. I mean, it's just absolutely huge. They weren't playing around with this thing. And then here's your pooper, which would probably just lay right over the ocean, just bloop, right in the world's largest toilet, aka the ocean. So that is that's one big long bathroom. What's the word for you know, the games like the back rooms where everything's just kind of like narrow and just strange looking, minimalistic. That's kind of what it's like, the bathroom there. We'll go down underneath, check out the deck. This thing can haul so much friggin' cargo. So it's about 60 meters in length. It's got a depth or a draft of 10 meters, which is quite thick. 1,484 in the tonnage department. I don't know what is in this game yet that would warrant that much in the hold, but that is absolutely massive. I don't think you can get that much cargo presently out of the game, to be honest. But you got your cannon down here, which is pretty cool. Very ornate. Studded wheels on the cannon. I don't know if those are probably brass or bronze. Not sure, but they look cool as hell. Go down in there is your hold. We'll check that out in a minute. We'll go down here. But there's tons of hatches everywhere. Plenty of lanterns so you can see at night. We'll go all the way to the tippy top. Got a couple of portholes up there. Oh, I don't think that part of the model, whatchamacallit, is done yet. I don't know the lingo for that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can get down here. Here is your cargo manifest right there. We'll open this. Here is your provisions. This one holds 16.5 ton provisions, so that is a absolute mess ton of provisions you can hold in this thing. Frames are kind of dipping a little bit. Again, it's a beta. I don't know if it's the light emissives, because there's quite a few lanterns on this thing, plus the city we're in. Because as soon as I look away towards the ocean, the frames go up. As soon as I look back towards all the lighting and stuff like that. But again, it's a beta. You know, the developers very aware of a lot of this stuff and diligently working on them. We'll go down below. Here's where your ballast is, where I messed up earlier and I just went it just absolutely. See, it holds 120 ton of ballast. Oh my god, that is a lot. I put it almost all the way to the bottom. This one's kind of got the bulkheads like the junk as well, so it's separated, which is kind of nice. You know, it's you know, helps for flooding and things like that. I don't know if that's what it was meant for, but absolutely massive ship. This thing is friggin' huge. I'll try and get. I hate to end the video as such, but like I said, I got out there and I sunk, and it took so long, and I've got other stuff to do today, so I'll try and get a video done, and we'll do an actual cargo run with this sucker right here if I can get it out of this port. Get the biggest, heaviest haul of cargo we can possibly get, and sail this thing and check out some of the aisles and some of the other stuff, and just show you how to take care of cargo and what you can do within the game and things like that. But I think for now, that is it, guys. Following Seas beta and all of the ships that you should see during early access, and of course with beta access if you've got that. But that is going to do it for me. Once again, thanks Brendan for giving me a beta key. to check this out. Love this game. Been spending a lot of time with it lately as I've been getting bored with my usual haunts. So this is very fun. Cannot wait to see what it turns into, because this has got some serious potential. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you next time.